It's April 1st, 2022. When April comes, I start thinking about spring, but I'm also thinking about poetry because April is National Poetry Month. I don't usually read when I do these videos, but I have a lot to say tonight, so I'm going to read something to you. I have some dear friends who are poets. They're part of my writers group, and whenever they submit, the rest of us say, "Oh, we don't know much about poetry." But that's not really true, and it shouldn't be true. First of all, as the years have gone by, we've learned a great deal from these two wonderful women poets. But more importantly, poetry is a kind of basic language, and I think we could all understand it better than we think we do. It's sort of like modern art. It's an amalgam of words on the page, and some of us look at them and say, "Oh, I don't know what that means." But we know more than we think we do. Besides, so many writers talk about how when they let their work out into the world, they no longer control its meaning because that is up to the readers. And it's the same with poetry. It's what we take from it that matters. The thing that I think that is special about poetry is that a poet has to say so much in fewer words than other kinds of writing. And if you've ever tried writing, you know that it's harder to write short than it is to write long, because each word has to carry so much meaning. I am a huge believer in the power of words and in using words in a thoughtful and meaningful and intentional way. So I'm going to use this month to teach myself more about poetry, and I'm going to take you along on this journey with me here. I'm not totally starting from square one. I have studied some poetry in the past in college and graduate school. I took a class on Wordsworth and a terrific class on modern women's poetry with the wonderful Professor Ann Douglas, and I have plenty of poetry books on my shelf, so that's a good place to start. I think the logical place to start today is with T.S. Eliot. That might be obvious to you because of the line from The Waste Land, "April is the cruelest month," and today is April 1st. I don't find April to be a cruel month. I love the beauty of April, but I'd like to start by exploring the wasteland just a little bit. I also have another line from that poem running around in my head. "Hurry up, please, it's time." I remember learning that line was a refrain from the pubs at closing time, but for me it means it's a time in my life to start really accomplishing some things. As the cliche goes, I'm not getting any younger, and there are things I want to do, so hurry up, please, it's time. So on this April 1st, I'm going to give you a little sample of T.S. Eliot in my next video. Stay tuned for a little bit of Lynn reading The Wasteland.